After a nail-biting surgery, Try was tossed into the hall like a trash bag while old Q calmly instructed his team to keep cutting and made a graceful exit. Try hurriedly chased after him, casually yanking off a leaf tube, dodging obstacles like a ninja, turning it into a neck accessory. Old Q felt Monkey attacked, blacked out, as the leaf tube tightened, his face red as a ripe peach. Nearby doctors rushed in like superheroes to stop the madness, and old Q took the chance to rip off the leaf tube, turning to slap Try, leaving him complete. At this time, he knew not his actions sparked a live drama. Old Q also had no idea that his monkey punch would catapult him into a crazy whirlwind of life. Don't go anywhere, the upcoming scenes get even weirder. Haha, hey everyone. I'm Uncle Son, and some say that after watching my commentary, your luck can multiply by 100. Please hit that like and let me soar. Thank you. Now let's officially embark on today's fantastic journey. Time flies, and it's been 7 years already. That night, the torrential rain poured down like a scene from an action movie, impacting this car team. A bunch of grim-faced people in black carried a tattooed giant out of the tattooed giant was wheeled into the operating room, and meanwhile, old Q strode into the room where today's VIP patient was the big boss from Mansion. This surgery's harder than tattooing a rice grain. Fairly ruins his reputation. He must be as cautious as a high dive performer, same for She. Today's patient is a game boss. If he dies, She might move on too. However, She wasn't scared. In fact, he was thrilled since it had been a while since had faced such a challenge. The two surgical timers started a race. Master and apprentice eagerly took scalpels. 5 hours later, both surgeries ended, and old Q exited the OR. He was hoping to head home for a break when a cop stopped him, claiming someone anonymously sent a spooky surgical video last night. The patient was indeed the gangster boss they were investigating, and the surgical location looked like an underground lab. The cops were there to find out if the patient had, well, old Q glanced at the footage, recognizing the surgical technique as super basic, and it felt oddly familiar. He wanted to keep watching. But that was it for the footage, as the cops sighed, saying it was only a snippet, and they traced the IP to someone overseas. Before old Q spoke, his student said, "This surgery's tough. Underground, it's doomed." The cop sought old Q's professional eye for confirmation and received a silent yes, prompting him to apologize and leave. Once the door closed behind, old Q hurriedly pulled his student aside and dialed his assistant, Miss Sayo Luo, urging her to find a spy. He needed to confirm a serious matter urgently, and Miss Luo asked curiously, "What's the rush?" Old Q lowered his voice, saying, "The girl seems to have come back." Meanwhile, Try woke up from a dream, brushing aside a bunch of hair. He noticed the conspicuous scar and thought, if I hadn't operated on him, he would have been flattened by fear ages ago. I secretly peeked at the gangster's condition post-surgery. The recovery seemed decent, and there weren't any side effects. Meanwhile, the nurse was counting money like it was going out of style. After counting, she found only 5 million. Was that for surgery, care, and hush money? She was doing underground surgery, and getting caught could mean jail time. This deal felt off. After some deep thought, she decided to take a chance on the passed-out boss and asked Try how much money he got. After all, they were old co-workers, and she had some idea. The nurse speculated, with the surgery this complex, Try must have made a fortune. But since we're all practicing illegally, why does he only get 5 million? That's just not fair. Try asked the nurse, spit it out, money or what? The nurse said 3 million. Per month. Try thought about it and decided he could use an assistant. A long-term partnership for 3 million a month didn't sound too bad. But then the nurse added, "I'm not planning on doing any work. I just want the cash because caring for patients is so exhausting." Old Q quickly found the surgical broker who, after watching the video, immediately exclaimed, "No way. I don't do brain surgeries. The risks are just too. Underground surgeries differ from regular hospitals. If things go wrong, it's not the director who's blamed. Whoever suffers, just his bad luck." Old Q suddenly felt dizzy and nauseous, ducking into the restroom to grab a painkiller. The surgery had him almost knocked out. In his mind, he muttered, "I don't want to see this anymore," as he quickly hid in the restroom. For 3 months, this had been the routine, and he urgently needed to find Cheyu. Over a month later, the gang leader's surgery succeeded, and his gang left the temple with him while she stayed for cleanup. They toiled from day to night. The nurse, hungry and thirsty, sought water, but the gang's men took everything. She opened Try's bag in despair. Oh, what a coincidence. There was a bottle of mineral water inside. The nurse opened her mouth and gulped it down. Sayozu went downstairs to throw things, saw Try meditating before the statue, greeted him, and Try suddenly shouted, Stop stalling and hurry up taking the box to anesthesiologist Ultan. The organs inside are urgently needed. Saozu quickly hopped in. The sky poured rain once more as the tail lights of the car faded at the end of the road. Try glanced up at the second floor of the temple, where the nurse had already passed out. The car driven by Saozu slowed down ominously as an unsettling thought crossed his mind, recalling Try's meditation. So he stopped and opened the box. Opening it, he saw only ice bags and broken ice cream, no organs. Saozu quickly realized something was wrong and returned to the temple. At this moment, the nurse regained consciousness, feeling dazed and realizing her backpack was missing, so she searched everywhere until she finally spotted it in the operating room. The surroundings were quiet as a graveyard, a perfect spot for a party. Just one prerequisite: someone's got to go first. Don't move. Upon returning to the temple, Saozu saw Try coming down and gulped, asking, "Is the nurse still here?"